Friends, if you're looking for real old school laughs, you're in for a treat because we've got them right here. Flip City Magazine. Remember Mad Magazine? Then it went woke? Well, don't worry. Flip City has no chance of going woke. That's right. 4 times a year, you'll get an actual printed magazine full of jokes, stories, comics, and more, all about today's pop culture, entertainment, and woke politics. Flip City takes terrible entertainment trends we love to hate with hilarious parodies of Lord of the Rings, Stranger Things, The Walking Dead, Star Trek, Hunters, and more. Trust me when I say there is nothing else like Flip City on the market. So subscribe today. It will be delivered in print, or you can even get it digitally if you're one of those wacky Zoomers. Either way, follow our link and sign up today, and if you put in midnight, you get an extra 10% off. Check out Flip City Magazine today.
Fucking knows. All right, Tom, you got a song you want to play?
I do have a quick one here. Hopefully
Go for it.
It's kind of a work in progress, but
Okay.
I wish it was about Barbie. It's not, so. But it kind of goes along with something you guys were just talking about. Well, I was feeling mighty randy. I just couldn't hide it. I had my cell phone handy, so I slipped to somewhere private. Well, my mouth started to water, and I couldn't believe the size of those cans now. There ain't no one hotter, yeah, I met your mom on OnlyFans. Oh yeah. Well, see, I'm her best customer. Oh yeah, she's so good to me, yeah. She loves the gifts I send her, 'cause she bakes me cookies. Oh, I'll make 'em mine. I don't care how. She's the best I ever had. Don't give me that look now, 'cause someday I might be your dad, yeah. I met your mom on OnlyFans. And I'm gonna make a mine. Yeah. That's right.
Television highlights of the news of yesteryear.
Welcome everybody once again to the Weekly Wrap-Up. That's right. Welcome one and all. Welcome and thank you for joining us on the Weekly Wrap-Up. I am Tom Connors. We have with us tonight Toxic Man Flu. How are you?
Am I on? Am I here?
You're
All right.
here.
Hey,
We
Tom,
hear you.
I'm here. Hey, I'm doing great.
Yeah.
We got some stuff done in the yard today. Beautiful day out. And,
Nice.
Ready for some nice unwind time.
Indeed. Our favorite virus is here. We're glad to see you. We also have with us Brahma Bull. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Had a birthday weekend, and I'm milking it for all it's worth so that I could be on here much earlier than I'm usually able to stream. So glad to be here.
Well, happy birthday, and we thank you for using your birthday wish to be here. Hopefully, doesn't cost you a you know what. Anyway, Clobbering Times is here. How you doing, Clobbering Times?
Hey, buddy. Good. Thanks for having me. Good to see you, my friends on the panel and good friends out there in the chat.
Good seeing you. Good seeing you. We also have with us the toy maker himself, Mr. Andy Masterson.
Hello, everyone. If you're out there, please have sympathy for those that don't appreciate the Snyder universe and don't call them nasty names.
Yeah.
Then there wouldn't be Snyder bots, and then Tom wouldn't have any fun.
Well, the new term is not a hoe, because you got to know how to smack a hoe. Yeah.
Tom would miss that.
I mean, they want to sit there and self-admit to jerking off to him and
What?
all that
What?
kind of crap. Like, you should see some of the
What?
stuff that they self-admitted to.
Really?
Right? Like,
Wow.
first of all, like, okay, we're not going to drag this off too long because we still got to introduce Scribe Light. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Yes, I saw your confrontations with the FAP Snyder crowd earlier
wow.
today.
But
All
yeah,
day
like,
long.
what I mean is they went and grabbed some thumbnail from Fanzine, Greg, my buddy, who does like the physical media shows with me and stuff. They grabbed a thumbnail from one of our clips from one of us talking one time, and they posted that like that was some gotcha. It's like, okay, and then they post some picture of like Snyder trying to lift weights or something or other. You can tell it's fake as fuck. Anyway, fucking. So I'm like, do you jerk off to this? And he's like, maybe. And I'm like, well, at least you fucking admit it.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, and 9 times out of 10, you drop anything like that, they will own it. And it's like, all right. Something about a circle jerk to it one time. It's like, at least you guys admit it. Like, whatever, man. Maybe something was lost in translation there. But yeah, Snyder hoes be easy to smack. That's why I call them Snyder hoes.
Yeah. Snyder bots.
Easy
Snyder
to smack a hoe.
They are some bitches, though. Jesus.
Yeah, they don't even deserve to be bitches. Bitches at least have use. They hoes.
True. Yeah. They're
Hey,
used to
I don't want to see whatever version Snyder puts together of them fapping. I just don't. Right? What is this? Right hand v left hand, or I don't get it.
So you don't want to see a Snyder cut of that?
No, I don't want to be. What is it going to be? A bris?
be 4 hours.
We're gonna have, that's
A
right.
Snyder uncut.
Exactly,
A
Wolfwood.
Snyder concision. How do you say that?
The Snyder cut is more like
Snyder
a
Decision.
Yeah.
Snyder Cision. That's what it is. We're getting a Snyder Cision of this one. It's going to be great. 4.5
Snyder
hours of
Cision
black
edition.
and white board.
We need to coin that one instead of the
slow-mo.
Snyder version as the Snyder Decision.
Snyder
Yeah.
Cision. Yeah, we're using
That's the
that.
only time you get a circumcision where you get more added to it. Like,
Right.
you got like a saggy ass skin.
But it
hanging
still
from
doesn't
and
work.
shit. Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
No.
right.
Doesn't
Nobody
make you
goes and
longer.
sees it. Yeah.
Anyhow,
Snyder
enough of that making fun of the Snyder hose. They can have their moment now and chill out. The one dude just lost it though. He went off, but
Man, how long have you been
Anyway.
fighting with those guys?
Oh, years, man, years.
I know that. I've been doing it for 10 years. I mean, I'm talking about just yesterday, like the past 3 days.
Oh shit! This started this time.
yeah, just the new one.
Because okay, so this started because a bunch of them were like, when that Rotten Tomato news came out that they got busted for paying for good reviews for the last 5 years. Now keep that in mind, for the last 5 years.
Right.
They're all out there. We knew it was bullshit. These ratings are bullshit. They need to re-rate BBS and MOS. It's like, did you miss the part where it said 5 years? Not 13 years. Not 10 years or 8 years. 5. Okay. And they're like, still, it's bullshit. It's like, you guys missed the part where Warner Brothers owns Rotten Tomatoes, right?
God.
Like, in what universe would they sabotage their own fucking movie? Right? I'm trying to wrap my logic around this. Like,
That's great. I wondered how it began. I hadn't seen that. So, yeah.
Well,
I don't know. I
you've
keep
seen
asking
how
myself.
Warner's-
I keep asking myself that question with Disney. How do they keep sabotaging their own film?
You keep going. I was saying, have you seen any of the DCEU movies? They have sabotaged themselves trying to be competent, and it just is awful.
I would be making the argument more so that they couldn't even buy good reviews. Oh.
Hey-o.
I like your slow one.
A
Your
little
slow
on
one's
that
more
one.
like that.
It's
You're
in slow
making
motion.
of the drum.
Yeah, I bought this new thing to plug in my things. It's really cool because like I can actually choose to turn things on and off, but sometimes you bump a button. So like it has like a 4 USB port thing, but it actually has a switch on top. Yeah.
What this thing that does a thing.
So I can leave things plugged in all the time and switch them off and not have to unplug them and stuff as much.
Oh, wow. That does not sound sexual, Ed.
Not in the least.
Nope.
Yes, and
So
we
you
know
got a
the
dock?
Aquaturd teaser for a teaser. Yes, a dock. I got a dock. I'm docking.
You're docking.
You're docking.
Did I text you?
Goes well with Snyder's visions.
This movie. I got a feeling that anything that they think is going to make money, they've pushed to next year. And anything that's just going to be a massive bomb, they got to get off the books. It's happening.
Yeah, December 20th.
Which brings us to Aquaturd, I think. Yeah.
Unless they're dropping this in December to make sure it's there for the Oscar.
Well, we all know Aquaman's going to win all the Oscars. Yeah, you're right.
Man.
Amber's a
Best
shoe-in.
visual effects.
Yeah.
For the best cheating leading man or a woman in a lead role.
I want to start taking bets right now because we got 4. They dropped this now, and we got 4 days to wait till the trailer actually drops. Like, why do they do this? Like, most of the time when they drop a teaser for a teaser, it's like 24 hours, and then they're going to drop it, or even like less than that. Like the next morning, they usually do. This they're waiting 4 days, and I want to start taking bets now on how much or how little we see of Amber Heard in that fucking trailer.
I'm guessing, and this is a guess, they drop it now to wait 4 days in order to gauge reaction, and they've got like 3 or 4 different cuts of the actual teaser, and they figure out from metrics and reaction which one would be the most effective. Maybe.
That Scribe Light dude's really smart.
He is.
I went to college.
That's why I left him.
Well,
Let him come around.
That makes perfect sense to me.
But there is a poll in the chat right now. We're trying to figure out what we're going to talk about tonight. Since Paul didn't show up again, we're not doing the TV show thing. He might wander in
Culture in
aimlessly.
the chat.
Is Culture in the chat not in here?
Well, you said there's a poll in the chat.
Oh, poll.
He
Yeah.
usually dances on polls.
Oh, I thought he was Polish for a minute there. But yes, one of them is 10 underrated female villains. You know, in celebration of the Nun 2. And on the other one, we have every DCEU movie that was canceled in celebration of Aquaturd 2.
Oh,
So
the
there you
canceled
go.
one's the bigger list, right?
I don't know. I didn't really look. That's the whole thing. Is I made a vow to never look at these lists, and I know it's a bad idea, but at the same time, you get my genuine reaction out of them.
Yes.
So because then I can go, oh, what the fuck?
It's more
I
fun.
think
Yeah.
the 10
Good point.
underrated female villains is a trap because there's never been a female villain.
What remark do you? What, Mags? You're gonna have to let me know what you do because I'm definitely not gonna call you a hoe or a bitch. That's for sure.
Oh, because she will come find you.
No way. No
No, he
way.
was-
That's why I was
he was
like,
calling-
don't own anything like that. What?
He was calling me that, not you.
Or she's
Or I don't-
Polish, maybe.
Oh, you're Polish. Oh.
Polish.
Oh,
Oh, I did not know that. Okay. I won't do any Polish jokes then, I promise.
They were some of the
Not
best,
more than one.
fighter pilots and the most daring
Now,
naval.
stripper pole jokes, I can't promise
one,
anything.
yeah.
And make delicious pierogies.
Oh,
Pierogies are amazing.
food.
Hmm.
Polish borscht is really good.
Borscht, borscht,
Different
borscht.
than Russian side.
Nothing beats that.
Hey, we got Mr. TT in the house.
Hey.
He goes, Aquaman 2, flush once for the bulk, twice for the remainder. Ooh. And I don't have my flush on this one.
Oh, I got one.
Thank you.
Oh my god, the cock.
Okay.
That's a
I do
long
not love
flush.
cock.
Holy shit.
Damn.
That's a
Uh-oh.
long flush.
Yes. That's
Hey,
insane.
we got Mikey in the house. Why don't
Mikey.
he's out eating with Polly, I think.
Polish.
She's a quarter Polish. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. And she says, don't worry, I laughed. Yeah, I do stripper pole jokes. Not real great at Polish jokes, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flush
Close
the
enough.
turd.
They used to be really common Polish jokes.
Yeah, yeah. Then they kind of became blonde jokes. So
Right.
poor Mags, like, can't catch a break.
Used to sell novelties. I remember in high school we were on some trip and we stopped for, at a gas station, whatever it was. I go in and they have this novelty section, have this Polish marksman's pistol. And it was a fake pistol where the barrel was bent and pointed back at you. So you shoot yourself. But it was an actual product they sold in the store.
A what?
Polish marksman's pistol.
A
So it was a
Polish?
toy. Yeah, it was a toy gun
Yeah.
where the barrel of it bent around.
I
pointed
heard that
back at the
part.
person.
You cut out kind of, at least on my end, when you
Oh,
said
I
the
did?
first part. Yeah, no, I don't know if it's me or if it's, yeah.
Yeah, it would
No,
cut
it
out.
happened to me too.
It's funny you say this. I was just watching the history of Domino's earlier. The dude who made Domino's has a really dark history. Like, dude went through some shit. And every time he turn around, he gets screwed over. It's amazing, the story that I heard earlier. But yeah,
See
anyway,
those pictures of him and Little Caesar.
right?
Oof,
They got into
man,
it pretty good.
that was rough.
And Mr. TT is a dirty blonde. I should tell my favorite blonde joke ever. It's kind of
Uh-oh.
cute, actually. This is
So,
my
Mr.
favorite one.
Tickle Trunk.
Proceed.
Okay, so blonde's driving down the road. She all of a sudden stops because she sees another blonde sitting in the middle of a field, empty an empty field, mind you, no water, rowing a boat. So the blonde gets out of her car. She walks over to the edge of the road and she goes, hey you. And the blonde in the boat goes, what? She goes, it's your fault that blondes like us get a bad name. If I could swim, I'd come out there and kick your ass.
There it is. That was funny. I like that one.
That's my favorite blonde joke.
That reminds me of the joke that Joker tells at the end of the Killing Joke about the two guys trying to escape the insane
Mhm.
asylum.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
For anybody who remembers that joke, I won't try to repeat it, but yeah.
Yes. It was a pretty good joke, though.
My other favorite one is about the two blondes in the convertible that got pulled over for speeding.
Mhm.
The cop goes, why are you speeding? And she goes, well, it's raining and we can't roll up. Never mind, I'm not going to finish this one. We're going to keep moving on. Anyway, thank you, Mr. TT.
Oops.
All right, I won't do
We're going
mine.
to piss off too many more blondes because we love blondes. They're not all that way. Oh, we got another super chat anyway. Thanks for the saver. Truth, Hope, Love says, so you think after this Amber will never be heard from again? Oh,
Man. That one actually hurt. That was good.
that one hurt.
What is her redemption arc, do you think? If she had to have one, what series of events would have to take place? Or what kind of redemption arc do you think she would pursue?
Well, first of all, she would have to say, yeah, I fucking lied. Or maybe
Mhm.
Right.
think she could actually even get away with like probably pulling like, I didn't really realize that, in my eyes, things were worse than they probably were. And I didn't realize how how much I was adding to the situation. Like if she just took some whoops, that was an accident.
That was
Some sort of like responsibility,
yeah.
maybe people would be like, oh, okay, you know. Because I mean, that's how I think the main thing that helped Johnny in the whole case was that he took responsibility for his drug use, right? I mean, sure, he gave us a breakdown of why he got there, but he also took responsibility for it. And in that process made Amber look even worse for taking those pictures of him when he was all passed out and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I just, I think the first thing she needs to do is clean up after herself. I think if she does that first, then we can get, it'll wipe out everything else.
Wipe, you mean? Okay, so basically she needs to get toilet paper. That's not
Maybe she could get into toilet paper.
Yeah.
It's good business, especially.
I mean, if
during
I
the
was
pandemic.
Charmin, I would be, or Cottonelle, man.
Yeah, call her up.
Get rid of those bears and I'd hire
No
her.
one knows shit like Amber.
That's right.
Yeah.
Don't squeeze the Charmin.
Can you imagine her coming out for like Tide or something and said, "You ever have to get out a really tough stain?"
That's it. That's it.
That's
Tide,
gold.
Tide gel pen. It took a whole box of gel pens to get rid of this shit stain.
Well, the first thing that's going to come to her mind is how can she set the school bus up so that it's going to crash, so then she can save it to become the hero.
True. Very true.
Oh shit. Thank
I
you,
just-
Truth, Hope, Love. John Wong says Amber has a career as a you knew where we were going with that.
Yeah.
She can follow up Jamie Lee Curtis for the yogurt.
Oh yeah.
That keeps you regular.
That or she
Probiotic.
started like a doggy daycare or something, or like a doggy cleanup service. Don't worry, your dog will never get stung by a bee. I don't know. That was bad.
What else she could set up a home for women who abuse their spouse?
I should really hate myself for that. Mr. Ticket Trunk says, I'm giving you a Pollock pass and blonde pass. Well, thank you, Mr. Tickle.
Wait. He's Polish, blonde, and Canadian.
Oh Lord.
Oh man.
You poor
Are there
child.
any redeeming?
It's a walking punchline right there.
I mean, he had to be
There's a joke
up
in
like
there
crazy
somewhere.
as a child. I am so sorry.
A Polish and a blonde and a Canadian walk into a bar. They were Mr. Tickle Trunk. That's the joke.
That's the joke, right?
Magitech Mag says, "Don't worry, I don't talk Shiner jokes for balds." Teehee. Oh, go ahead, please. We got this one already, and thank you, Truth, Hope, Love.
Wow.
Holy crap!
There it
Holy-
is, right
the
there.
sponsor of the evening
Wow.
tonight.
North.
$50 says also, what animated adult show will win? South Park, Simpsons, Family Guy, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, America Dad, Futurama, Venture Brothers, Daria, Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill, The Critic, Duckman, Rick and Morty, or Happy Tree Friends?
The Critic.
It's thanks.
Yeah, the
When-
Critic, because it didn't
Critic.
go long enough to outlast its welcome.
Just
Can't fly.
go.
Beavis and Butthead's still great though.
I enjoyed every single Rick and Morty.
For me, it's a tie between South Park and Beavis and Butthead, but I'm curious what you guys think.
Yeah.
Klobby?
Oh, Beavis and Butthead, bar none. I mean, love it.
I love South
Andy?
Park. I love South Park. I mean, I love Beavis and Butthead too, but South Park, there's nobody that's not untouchable for them. They go after everybody.
Very true.
Yeah.
Scribe?
Yeah, I'm going to be the contrarian. Like I said, the Critic or Duckman. I think both of those lasted just long enough to, like I say, not overstay their welcome. And you can pick out just about any clip from the Critic today, and it still rings true. The sentiments in there about media and Hollywood and everything else. So.
Mhm. No, I can see you liking them actually. And well, The Critic is very underrated, especially
Yes.
the first season. Once it goes into, well, that's the thing is they did, for those who don't know, it started on, wasn't it ABC and then went to CBS or vice versa? I can't remember which. Fox. It
Fox,
started on
yeah.
ABC and then went to Fox. That's what
Went
it
to
was.
Fox, right?
Sorry. And then when it went to Fox, the second season just was off in comparison to the first.
As compared to the first, yes, it's true.
Yeah.
It suffered a little bit, but that first season is fucking
The
golden.
showrunner or whoever, they didn't go with them when they went to Fox. Did
Well, no, I think it was because it was James L. Brooks all along.
Yeah.
Right.
On that
Yeah.
part. But there was,
It's
I'm
just the
trying to
production
remember what
itself.
happened in the background, that I think they had a different change in writers or something happened, and they changed the look of the show a little bit and the dynamic. There was another, I can't remember if it was, it's been a while since I watched the second season. I watched the first few episodes all the time, but like I love the Siskel and Ebert episode, for instance, and stuff. But, that to me is like one of the greatest television episodes of all time.
Yeah.
Anyway, Brahma.
I'm pretty partial to King of the Hill because it's one of the few shows that we've had that a dad is not portrayed as a complete freaking idiot at all times.
Bobby.
Yeah.
Not only that, a Southern man, a lot of Southern people for that matter. It kind of really gives you more of a realistic look while also having fun at the same time, but not in a Beverly Hillbillies kind of way.
Yeah, and I was born in Oklahoma and, raised up until like grade 5 in Texas. So most of the jokes kind of hit home that way too. So. But it's nice to have a dad that isn't a complete idiot on a show for once. I mean, it's been a long time since we've gotten that.
And he's a good husband and everything else. Good worker, good American, all those things. Yeah.
Patriotic.
A good patriot. That's right. I can see that. Tox.
Propane and propane accessories.
There's a lot of good shows on here that I haven't enjoyed. American Dad, Future, Venture Brothers, King of the Hill, Reddick, Rick and Morty.
Is he fading out for everybody else too?
I could like all of them, but South Park, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, Tox, do you have something else running in the background, like Zoom or something that might be fucking with your mic? Because you're like phasing out. You're there, but you're like canceling yourself
what
out
typically
again.
happens in StreamYard when you're when you've got your cursor in another window.
Or whatever it is going on.
While
Yeah.
you're talking.
Yeah, if you're running a second browser, sometimes that screws everything up. I've learned that the hard way.
I run multiple browsers.
Now you sound a little better.
Yeah, I think I have to get closer to the mic.
That might be it. You're just kind of fading out. Yeah, because you were sounding good for a minute there, and then you're just like, you're like getting buried in
all of these shows I've seen and I enjoy. All of them, really. But South Park is King of the Hill. I remember watching the very first episode and rolling on the floor and passing out because I couldn't breathe from laughter. Because there's something about kids in the 3rd grade swearing like sailors that I find funny. And but I've enjoyed The Critic, Rick and Morty, American Dad, Futurama. I watch Futurama all the time. Venture Brothers is probably one of the greatest shows that's ever been made. Aqua Teen Hunger Force was great for a little while. Had some off times there, but King of the Hill was an event for a lot of people with that. So.
Well, it was like Beavis and Butthead for grown-ups in a weird way, and like
Beavis
Brahma
and
was saying
Butthead,
for the South at the same time. It kind of really, it was a unique cartoon.
Beavis and Butthead. I mean, it broke the mold. That's definitely true. Back when MTV was actually doing that, with the stuff that they were doing, but I like everything around the two guys that created South Park. Basketball is one of my favorite films. I know it's a crap film, but Basketball is
it's great.
Strangely enough, Robert Vaughn's 100th film was Basketball. So
you know what? You talk about laughing your ass off. I've only like fallen out of my chair maybe twice laughing at something in my lifetime, and it was both between South Park the movie and Basketball.
When Shut Your Effing Face, Uncle Effort comes on with Terrence and Phillip, I was in the theater floor, literally.
That almost had me. No, the one in the movie is when they slap Brooke Shields.
Oh,
the timing of it was just so perfect that it caught me off guard, and I fucking fell up out my seat laughing. And then in Basketball, it's when what's his face from Unsolved Mysteries?
Robert Stack.
I was gonna say Robert Stack. Was that his name? Yeah.
Yeah, like, Robert Stack.
He's like, we have no fucking clue where this guy is.
When Yasmin Bleeth comes in and is gonna yell at them, and they're in the changing room naked, and she goes, "You two guys," and they both turn around, and the dong's flipping in between their legs and stuff. She can't say anything. Long winger. Oh my god! And she just runs out. That was the first scene she filmed for the movie, was them two, and she walks in to seeing their stark naked butts, and they turn around. They had socks on, and both of those socks and things fell to the floor. That was her introduction to the whole film.
Yeah.
And then, that there's so many. in
And
there.
Team America too. You're right in the chat,
Oh,
guys. And
Team
not only that, but
America.
like the Beavis and Butthead movie, I don't think gets enough credit either, or the South Park movie for how many laughs are in them. Just non-stop laughs. I mean, like you said, from the moment the movie kicks off, even though you get that, the original small town song or whatever it is called, the Podunk Country
Mountain Town.
Mountain Town, yeah. In the beginning, then when you get to Uncle Fucker, I was just like, oh shit, how the what? Whoa!
When
Like,
they
I
do-
was kind of beside myself at first, but yeah.
When they do that part of the song where they're farting to the music, oh my god. Oh, hey, what's going on here? Oh my god.
Probably one of the best fart jokes in the movie. But thank you,
It
Truth
is.
Hope Love.
Yeah.
Always appreciate this question or questions like this. Yeah,
All of them are
Rick
good.
and Morty was one though. Real quick, since you sent in 50, I feel like we got to give you your money's worth here. What's your least favorite on this list? I've never seen Happy Tree Friends, so that'll get a pass for me. Rick and Morty, I was never a huge fan of. I got it, but I didn't really care for it. But the one I'm probably gonna, and Venture Brothers, believe it or not, I've never seen either. But the two that Aqua Teen Hunger Force, I just didn't understand the appeal. And Daria bothered me when it came out. Mostly because I knew Judge had very little to nothing to do with it. Yeah.
Yeah, by the time that happened. You want us to go in reverse order? What? Because I agree
Sure,
with you.
yeah, let's do
On
that.
this list, Daria is my least favorite. Brahmaville, over to you.
Yes.
I kind of like Daria because she was sarcastic. I like that in the character. I did not care for the animation style from Duckman at all. Never could get into it.
That had
I
like the
don't think I've
wavy
even
line
watched more.
stuff, right?
Yeah. I mean, coming from what we watched as kids and even most of the rest of these shows, it just wasn't on par, and it did nothing for me. I couldn't get through an episode.
That was what I didn't mind, but I see where you're coming from, Brahma, that I didn't quite get the concept. It didn't sing with me, I guess. It was like, okay, he's supposed to be a private dick and a family guy and all this other stuff, but why is he a duck?
Yeah, maybe it's something like go back to 20 years later, but I haven't felt
maybe
the
I
urge
missed
to
something
so far.
too, yeah. Klobby?
Well, there are a lot of them that haven't have these that I didn't watch much of it. I don't even know what Happy Tree Friends, I must admit.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Couldn't get into Rick and Morty, tried, and couldn't get into Duckman. I tried. I liked the Critic a little bit, I guess. I like King of the Hill. I love Beavis and Butthead. I didn't watch much of Daria, really. I mean, she was funny when she was on Beavis and Butthead, but
the show was kind of like a high school comedy show.
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah,
never really
It was
watched it that
MTV
much.
too, wasn't it?
Yes, it was on MTV, but that was the thing is like they owned the characters so they could do whatever they wanted with them. And that was kind of the first time they started doing something with the characters that Judge wasn't too happy with, but he didn't mind the show all that much. And then they started using the characters and other things, and that really started pissing him off. But yeah, Daria just kind of was similar-ish, but it didn't feel like the real Daria to me. But anyway, sorry, you were saying, Klobby.
I was just saying what I've seen of Venture Brothers was not all of it, but I was really like that a lot. And what I've seen of Futurama, again, much but not all of it. Really love that. The other ones, obviously, I like some of the Simpsons here and there. Love South Park, but not a big Family Guy fan, really. I never like that. Aqua Teen Force, never really watched that much, or American Dad. So I don't have any particularly anything on this list that I hate, but a few things that I really like a lot.
That's fair. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, Family Guy is one of those that's very hit and miss with me, mostly miss, but I liked American Dad quite a bit.
Did you?
I liked American Dad until it got too Roger centric, and then it got really annoying.
See, I liked Roger at first, but it kind of was like he was best in his doses. But I will give Futurama this. Futurama probably had one of the funniest fucking debut episodes I'd ever seen of a TV show in my life. Like Bender was so like the hookers and that line was like so good. Like, I'll start my own place with hookers and blackjack. Like, I just couldn't fucking.
Are any of you guys watching the new season of Futurama that's airing
No,
right
I haven't
now?
seen him yet, but I've heard it's all right.
It's on par with maybe that second run that they did.
Yeah,
not quite the old stuff again.
So yeah, I can watch them, but it wasn't a show I really, really dug.
Yeah.
And The Simpsons, I fell out of somewhere around the 30th season. I stayed with them. I fucking stayed with them, even though that last 10 years were grueling. But when it got to a point where I'm like, I can't tell if I'm watching Simpsons or Family Guy, I quit. That was even before the woke.
Yeah.
And I've heard they've went uber woke on The Simpsons ever since, especially now that they're owned by Disney. But
I've heard that.
I think one of my favorite South Park episodes is when they made fun of Family Guy by using the manatees to get the 3 balls to create, the 3 different
plot lines
to put together their show. You just take 3 things that don't have anything to do with each other and throw it up there. And and then cop drama episode where they counted the word shit. How many times they said that? That was so funny.
That was good. That was
Hartman goes shit at the end. It was.
I remember my dad. He was never a South Park fan, but he kind of he's like, "What is this stupid? What do they do?" He's like, "Did you just say shit?" And then he's like, "Why is it? What's that on the bottom?" I'm like, "Well, they said shit last week on whatever it was, NYPD Blue or whatever
NYPD
it was."
Blue.
Yeah, and I said, "Well, now they're doing a count. They're counting how many times they can get away with saying shit." So he sat down and watched it just to see how many times they'd say shit. And by the end, he was laughing his ass off. But
yeah. That's what I say. Those guys, no F's given, man. They're just going to do it. And
that's what I love about them. They don't care.
You had George Clooney in the height of his fame come up and say, "Hey, I want to be a character on South Park." Said, okay, you're going to be a gay dog. Yeah. You're going to bark. And it's just like, they don't care. Team America World Police proved that. I mean,
God. Team America World Police might be the greatest movie ever made if you think about how much it did.
They should make like an animated sequel to that. But anyway, Andy, your timing is back. We're now saying what our least favorite or the one we hate on the list is.
Cartoon shows.
The ones on the list here, yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I really never saw Aqua Teen Hunger Force. So I can't say too much about that. Daria, I didn't like too much. I love King of the Hill. The Critic was funny. Rick and Morty, I thought was very good in the beginning, but then they lost me. Family Guy, I was never a fan of. Simpsons in the beginning. I mean, when the Simpsons started, I had the whole Matt Groening collection in his books, Akbar and Jeff and all those things.
Life in Hell and all that shit.
Yeah. They were a lot of fun. So I really liked the first couple seasons of them. But then, after the first 10 or so, I stopped watching. Although I still will watch every Halloween. I'll watch the Halloween episodes, the Treehouse of Horror. But I would say my least favorites on here are probably Family Guy, An American Dad, Daria, which I really never gave Daria a chance, but I don't know, it just doesn't seem like it was for me. And the later seasons of Rick and Morty.
Fair enough.
Don't know what Happy Tree Friends are.
I don't know if anybody on the panel does. Sorry.
I do.
Sorry,
never heard of
you
it.
do? Okay, well, Scribe.
Oh, yeah.
Now, which one's your least favorite?
Well, first off, I want to give one vote of defense for Duckman's art style.
Okay.
Real quick, because when I saw it the first time, my mind went immediately to the subversive comics of a Fritz the Cat and Crumb. And that kind of trying to set itself apart
I love Fritz
from
the Cat,
the main, from the mainline sort of animation kind of thing. So that kind of told me ahead of time this is going to be something different and vulgar, let's say. And so that's one defense I'll give for Duckman's art style. As far as on the animation list, out of everything, as much as I loved it when I first saw it, Happy Tree Friends. Happy Tree Friends was just cute animated characters being slaughtered in various creative ways, and that was basically the plot of the series. If you want to look it up, you can. And the shock value of it initially, back in the olden days, was the entertaining part, because it was the contrast between these cutesy, sort of childhood type. Anybody remember the Get Along Gang?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we just talked about
Shirt Tails or anything. So those kind of characters ending up being grotesquely and very explicitly slaughtered in different ways.
It's like the South Park episode, yeah.
Yeah, so the shock value of it was really entertaining for a while, but then it just lost its glitter.
Which is one of my least favorite South Park episodes, so that probably tells me I probably wouldn't care for that show. And actually, that's the kind of shit I used to. Okay, this is a fucking confession for Tom. When I was in 4th, 5th grade, our
Mhm.
teacher in writing class kept making us do these journals. Right.
Mhm.
And I'm like, my life is fucking boring. I get up every day. I go to school. I go home. I watch TV. I eat my supper and I go to bed or whatever. Like, watch more TV, go to bed. Like, I don't do shit. I'm like, so I said to her, like, what the fuck am I supposed to write? I didn't say it like that, but you know what I mean. And she's like, well, just come up with something, whatever. And so I started coming up with these stories about a rabbit and a frog. And each story would end with the rabbit kicking the shit out of the frog to within an inch of his life.
Yeah.
In some storybook fashion, right? It was always, like it was told in that form. And she never told me to quit doing it. In fact, she goes, it's a lot of times the notes were like, these are very creative, violent, but creative.
So, like the fuzzy little bunnies from One Crazy Summer.
Yes, very much. And in fact, that probably was Brahma. That might have been even my inspiration, to be honest with you. Because I actually used to draw them all the time. I loved One Crazy Summer and
great movie.
Great. And the other one too. You were just brought it up in our chat earlier because
Better Off Dead.
Better Off Dead, yeah. Which I find I kind of consider those like spiritual sequels anyway. Or
yeah, same guy did both. Well,
same director
not just
and
Cusack,
writer,
but same director. Yeah.
It's like those two Burt Kennedy movies. Is everyone good?
No, you're fine. And then Truth, Hope, Love also chimed in with Duckman was animated by the same people who made Rugrats and early Simpsons episode. That's right. I'm trying to remember the name of the animation company, but I do remember them.
I couldn't stand Rugrats.
Yeah, the Simpsons quit using them though.
I did watch with my kids that Wild Thornberries. That was kind of fun.
That almost has them the same almost art style as Duckman, but yeah. Culture Casino is in the house. He might pop in here, but his pick is Space Ghost Coast to Coast. It's not on the list, but we'll take that as a write-in.
Coast was funny. Drawn Together. Did you guys ever see that one?
Yes, I enjoyed it.
Briefly.
I love that. Yeah.
The second season wasn't as good as the first.
Definitely
I almost was kind of disappointed that I thought since it was like a reality show, we'd get a whole new set of characters in the second season.
Right. And they just did the other ones.
Yeah, that's where I kind of
even if they kept the same variables. But when Foxy had the lightsaber, oh my god! Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, there was some good shit on that one too. And Home Movies
stuff.
was another one from Adult Swim that I always kind of liked.
Yeah.
And then we had a couple other write-ins here, but otherwise, Truth, Hope, Love also said, speaking of Duckman, have Fluffy and Uranus secretly taken over the world? Well, I don't think so. Not yet. Pilgrim Media writes in Ren and Stimpy. Yeah, there you go.
It's long.
That was a pretty popular one when I was in school. Yes.
Yeah, especially when you started thinking harder about some of the subject matter and that it was on Nickelodeon.
We got Showered Casino. Look at how sexy he's looking.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Freshly beautiful.
Shower in the weave.
Look at him. That's a different weave. It makes it look like he just showered.
It's the wet weave.
It's the wet weave.
It's like he just filmed it.
He admitted it. We got it on video in 4K. He admitted it. See?
He admitted it. Wet weave.
No, that was
playing along.
I was playing along with it.
ActionCom says, who saw the Lifetime movie of Amber versus Depp? I haven't yet, but I made a note to see that at some point and I totally spaced it out. Thanks for reminding me.
What the hell?
Does it star a whole bunch of YouTubers?
I don't know, but that's the Netflix one.
No, I know.
This
I
is
know,
the
I'm
one
just
where,
making-
this is the one I can't remember who plays them, but like, it's that movie of the week thing that came out like right after the trial. Like they were literally had it made up and they were waiting for the trial to end so they could finish it. Yeah, and they released it like the next week.
Wow.
The narrator for that movie should be Umbrella Guy. I'm just saying.
Hey there, welcome to the Amber Heard Depp story. How's my Umbrella Guy?
Well done.
I love that when he says, "Well, hey there." I'm like, oh,
Hey there,
it's
Yeah.
Amber Heard is a
Doug
lying
so
cunt.
great. Doug is so great, man.
Are they releasing that movie in True Vision?
It's in poo vision. See, that means you got to smear shit in your eyes. Now you might. Now he's kind of turning into Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
He kind of is a badass like Jack Nicholson, though, if you think about it. If you smear poop in your eyes, you're likely to get pink eye, but then you'll see the world the way that Amber Heard does. A lot of crazy, but I'd never fuck that bitch.
Wow.
Hey there, appreciate y'all out there.
Jack Nicholson would be great. Talking to Amber Heard. You're crazy, bitch. I'm nuts, but you're fucking crazy.
Oh no.
Captain Palsy's here. How you doing, buddy? Says one amber, one bed. Ooh, like one girl, one cup. Ugh. Ugh, I don't know about that. Ugh. No.
That's
No,
great.
I can go some wild places, but I don't know about the poop stuff. Nope.
Nope.
No. That Jack Nicholson umbrella. Hey there, and welcome to the show. I can see that. Magitech Mag says wet weave is moist. Ooh. Yes, it is.
I can see
a little sticky too.
Yeah.
He goes off camera. Listen, Mallory's been here for 21 months. Thank you. And Olaf in the house for 2 years. Happy anniversary, Olaf. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate the support. And I think you're also
giving that a standing
you got a
ovation.
wrench too, don't you, Olaf? If you don't, say something and I'll give you one.
He's a snowman. He's only around half the year.
Yeah, I had to wrench him. I thought I'd wrenched him like years ago.
I thought, yeah, I know he is. I think he is on the main channel, but
I was like, no,
oh, he's not here. Here he
just
is.
gave you the thumbs up.
Give him a wrench now.
He thumbed you.
There we go. Add
What?
as a moderator. There we go.
I think that's what got Amber Heard angry.
All right, we're gonna end this poll. It's a tight poll, guys. You better get your last minute votes in.
Yeah,
Over half of you haven't voted
what
yet. It looks
she
like we
said.
had a Valiant Renegade raid or something like that because we gained some viewers.
Raid.
That's right. Her dog stepped on a bee.
Oh, stepped on a bee. That's one of my favorite remixes ever.
Oh, it's 4 a.m. for you, Olaf. Well, don't worry about having them so much, but thank you for being here. Yes, that's right.
I
Vote
want to
now.
know where he got those. Olaf got those lightsabers for his cats. I would love to do that.
Kitty sabers.
Yeah, those kitty sabers of his icon are cool.
Do they make do they sound small too? Like, you know how big lightsabers like
Boom, boom, boom. They go meow. And then when you pull back and when they touch, it goes. Yeah, it's kind of fun.
sometimes when we touch.
Writing by Dave Filoni.
Oh, then it's gonna suck.
I don't even know if I'd trust him with kitties with lightsabers. He'd probably fuck that up too.
He would screw that up. He would screw up squirrels with lightsabers, and
Yeah,
that's
right.
a popular internet meme.
Is it already? Shit.
Dude, he
I
can't
suck
pull off
on-
a dog with a machete.
Hey, Slowa.
60 seconds, kids. Get into the poll. Let us know what you want us to talk about.
Get the kids
Close
in the
as
poll.
fuck. It is very close. Like,
Come on, ladies, get on the poll.
What now?
we might even have
Huh?
to find some votes in Wisconsin.
Uh-oh.
Heyo,
Georgia.
it's an F curve.
Somebody check Florida.
I think they're still litigizing that in.
And how are you
Canadian
doing,
that.
Culture, since you came in late?
I'm good. I ate a dinner and I had a shower.
Yay.
Oh, wow. Is this true? According to ActionCom, what's weird about the Lifetime movie is all the male lawyers are gone. The trial only has ladies. That's
What?
fucking weird,
Well, Lifetime. I mean, you know.
I guess. And then Thomas Steen, I think I got it right now. Thomas Steen, thank you so much. Says Rugrats Studio was Klasky. That's it. Klasky Supo. Thank you. I was going to say Clokey, but I'm like, no. That's the fucking Gumby guy. The hell is it? I know it's something like that. Thank you so much, Thomas Steen, for reminding me. And he loves Daria. I love the character. I just wasn't a fan of the show so much. I mean, I'd probably warm up to it more now, especially like with nostalgic eyes. But I've noticed that with some songs and shit I couldn't stand when I was younger. Like I hear them on the radio, all of a sudden I'm singing to them, like all of a sudden going down the road. What the fuck am I doing? Like,
Not bop.
nah, that was just a joke because that's one of the more obnoxious ones.
God.
Otherwise, like, yeah, bit of a cotton eye Joe. What the fuck am I doing? Like,
Rednecks.
You're starting to sing "Hanging Tough" by the Two Kids in the Block. Yeah. Or my personal favorite, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Come on.
Good
Feel it,
vibrations.
feel it. Good vibrations.
I hear he really gets angry when anybody brings that up.
You know, while he's a one-hit wonder, basically. And what's sad
Yeah.
is, you know, I mean, you know, he didn't. It's like he didn't have talent. He did, but that just wasn't his calling. He's a better actor, just like his brother is an even better actor than he is.
Oh yeah,
I didn't even know
He
that
was
was
a new
him
kid.
in The Sixth Sense.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was the crazy guy in the beginning. I was like,
didn't know that.
Is that Donnie Wahlberg? What the hell?
Because I had just seen him like in Ransom not too long before that. And I'm like, oh, he was really good in that. But he's like chunky in that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm watching
Yeah.
Sixth Sense. Here I am. I'm watching it, and I seen the whole opening bit happens, kills him and everything. Blah blah blah. Spoilers.
What? 30-year-old movie.
And then in the credits, it's like Donnie Wahlberg. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm watching through the whole fucking movie. I'm waiting for Donnie. I'm like, Donnie Wahlberg wasn't in that fucking movie.
What a twist!
And then I go over
Yeah, the twist.
on the IMDb. I'm like, oh shit, he was a dude in the beginning. Like that wasn't Donnie Wahlberg. No fucking
Man-
way.
Man of 1,000 faces.
I know, right? I'm like, nah, no. Kind of like Dwight Yoakam. He's one of those you don't realize how good of an actor he is until you like, oh shit,
yeah.
that was him in Sling Blade.
My family does love me.
Hey,
Steak
they got
hot burger
one of them.
delivered.
Is it a
Did
Whataburger?
Bat Town sing
Oh,
Happy
yeah.
Birthday to you, Brahma? I can't remember. I'm drunk most of the time.
We did on
That's
Thursday
what I
night,
thought. Yeah, I don't.
real
I
late.
don't,
Mag
That's
did
right.
and you did.
because it was midnight. I remember
Yep.
that now.
Fat Tom came on.
He
Sang.
did. Oh yeah, we got this one. Thank you, Action Com. And then Truth Hope Love says, Tom, what the fuck am I doing? Is that Undercover Brother reference? Maybe. I've seen it, but it's been a while.
I love Undercover Brother.
It's good. It was funny.
That was a good one.
You know, another one that was funnier than I thought it was going to be The Ladies Man.
Oh, that was a good one.
I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, this is going to be the worst Saturday Night Live movie. How the fuck do you make a movie out of The Ladies Man? And it ended up being funny. Not only that, I'm like, how the fuck do you make a movie out of Stuart Smalley? And that is the most underrated SNL movie. If you have not seen it, it is hilarious.
How do you make a movie out of Night at the Roxbury?
That too. That one's not very good. That one only lasts for about 5 minutes. I gotta shut it off.
What about It's Pat?
That one is like, it's so bad it's good.
That one we're living.
And I remember
that
getting
now.
close. I'm like,
Yeah.
I watched that whole
Andy,
fucking
I
movie
get
and I
you.
was so pissed afterwards because they promised to tell us whether or not Pat was a man or a woman at the end of the movie. And then the whole setup is you just get to see her ass.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, are you fucking kidding me? We waited 90 minutes for that. I was pissed at that. That's probably one of the worst ones. I agree. Between Pat and was Deuce Bigelow? Was that really an SNL movie? Was that a character from SNL?
It was. I don't think it was a character.
No,
Oh.
I don't
He
believe
made
so.
that up his own.
Stuart Saves His Family though is great if you haven't seen it.
I still think of the Saturday Night Live comedians, I think Adam Sandler is probably the most successful.
Maybe monetarily, but
Yes.
Well, I mean,
Quality-wise, no.
Well,
you
come
got to go
on,
to
I
like
mean,
John
don't-
Belushi or Bill Murray for that. Like, no,
Look, don't
even
mess
Belushi with his few.
don't mess
pretty
with
hard to beat.
the Zohan. Is
Oh,
one of
that's
the
the
best films
Zohan. That is a
ever
great
made.
film.
See, that's one
Love
that
that
I've
film.
noticed people either love or hate, and I'm on the hate side of that one.
Oh,
Hey,
Culture
you
and
know
I
what?
But
watched it.
actually, no. You know what? Zeno's probably right. Eddie Murphy still probably has Adam.
Eddie
Sandler
Murphy.
beat
Yeah, that's what I was going to
monetarily.
say. Eddie Murphy's probably
Yeah.
the best.
I don't know, man. He fell off a cliff, bro.
Yeah, but while he was on top, he was great.
That's what I
He was
mean. Like,
on
I
top.
brought this up a few times. If you go and look at the top grossing movie star of the 80s, it always comes up Harrison Ford. But if you take out Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi that he wasn't stars in, it's Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Hands down. Because just between Trading Places, Beverly Hills Cop 2, and Coming to America alone,
Yeah.
he's got, and 48 Hours, I forgot too, even, Jesus Christ. Those 5 movies alone were like huge at the box office.
But Tom, you're discounting the audience draw of Judge Reinhold with them.
Judge Reinhold.
You're right. Head Office was a
Yes.
huge hit for him.
And I tell
And
you,
let's not forget about
yeah.
Vice Versa.
No,
Your
vice,
Reinhold
versa,
hate.
vice versa, man.
Release the Reinhold cut. That's what I'm saying.
Judge Reinhold. I've heard some stories about Judge. I'm not going to say shit. 'cause
I
know
like him.
somebody who knows
I
him.
think he does
He was
he
good in the
does a
part.
great part with the when he's in the parts that are right for him. He's awesome. He's like I don't know too many people that could pull that off and be believable in it as just that everyman that kind of blends in, but yet you still watch him.
He has a Judge like when you need a Judge Reinhold type, clearly like
He's his own category.
he is. He kind of is.
Yeah.
He's kind of like Charles Grodin in that way. You can't compare him to anybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you write something,
you-
you're like, Charles Grodin has to be in. Doesn't work.
Are you ever going to end the poll?
No, I want everybody to fucking vote. Come on.
You know what the next poll should be?
It's too close. It hasn't budged. Even though
Does-
100 more people voted.
Does Culture look like he belongs in the movie The Revenant? That's it.
The Revenant.
The Revenant. Because the look and stuff there, he looks like
Bear's gonna butt fuck you, man.
Bear's
You better
gonna
look
come up
out.
and try and kill him.
Culture Casino versus Snortopoopas.
Snortopoopas. There we go.
Wow. Feeling picked on yet?
It's the Casino
He's like,
Poopas.
these are my friends.
Casino V
That's
Poopas. There we go.
I'd say it looks like he belongs in an episode of Deadwood.
I'm sure I'm gonna have to hit him up for money at some point here. Let's be nice to him. Jesus.
That's true. There's some Brill cream going on there. Yeah.
Oh,
I still owe him money.
Oh,
Christ.
you owe him money for what?
you owe me money?
I do. Wolfwood says, thanks, guys. These live streams always make me laugh. Well, that's what we hope for, at least. And that's the best part about the weekly wrap up. And that's what it's all about. We're going to end the poll now because we have a fun time. And I'm sure Scribe Light and Klobby have other places to be here pretty soon. And Culture always ends up leaving early like a pussy. We got
45 minutes. What are you talking about?
We got one of the closest votes we've ever had in history. In fact, the one side went down a point.
Yeah.
Although DCEU stayed the same.
Female villains?
Barely just win. Well, if this is short, maybe we can get both of these in anyway.
I can't believe it. What do we
All
got?
right,
in the
let's
chat?
start with that
Oh,
one.
Joe Biden's in the chat. No wonder.
I got
crazy
female
old ladies.
villain. I'll be amazed if it's on the list. I got such an obscure female villain. I'll be amazed if it's on.
Well,
the
if you want to write it in the chat, you can. Otherwise, if you've already seen the list, then
Oh,
don't
okay,
cheat.
sure. Yeah, I haven't seen the list. No.
Okay, well, yeah. See, I like to stay. Look at that! One of the best mothers in movie history, right there in the middle. Sarah Connor and Mrs. Voorhees. Not too many mothers will kill for their sons. So there you go.
I know my wife will.
Underrated.
See, you know what I mean.
Yeah, she'd kill me.
Good one, Scribe Light. I like that movie, even though it's kind of corny.
Mhm.
But anyway, let's get this rolling.
You see me rolling.
And Hayden. Mrs. Loomis from Scream 2. Cool. I like that. She's an homage to Mrs. Voorhees.
Yes.
After the first Scream in 1996, Billy Loomis had become a central focal character. So his mom was a killer in the second one. You can add her to that list, as I said before. I think that's a proper way to start this top 10. I think this one's starting out better than most. Of course, this is CBR, and we usually use movie web usually.
Did they steal that last name from Dr. Loomis from Halloween? Was that an homage? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, it was. Well, which in turn was an homage to Psycho. So
Yes.
this also kind of is a weird way, kind of a little bit of a nod to that, plus the whole thing with Friday the 13th. And that's where the writer said they got the inspiration to make her the killer was Friday the 13th. But yeah.
Right. Okay.
So this one I agree with. Wow. What a way to start a list. Nobody can really argue with me. Ooh, Carrie White for this number 9. I can see
Underrated?
that.
Really? Is she underrated?
Underrated?
I don't know about underrated. Yeah. That's a good
that's-
point.
Seems a bit odd to put on an underrated list.
Yeah, she's kind of like pretty much an icon.
What a bloody mess.
Bloody mess. That's pig's blood, though.
It's still
It only
blood.
happens once a month, guys.
Or is it?
Well, that's funny you say that because if you've seen the movie, you know why. Unless you're trying to be punny with that.
No.
Or read the book even, same difference, but yeah. Okay, yeah, I can agree. I don't know about underrated, but I don't.
Yeah, I would say no.
The director and Cabin in the Woods. Full disclosure, I've never seen this movie, but I've heard good things.
Oh, really?
About it.
Great movie.
She's in it for like 2 minutes. That doesn't.
I also
Yeah.
haven't seen it.
It's a
I've
really,
seen
really
it,
good
and
movie.
Yeah, she's really not a main character in it.
No.
She may be pulling the strings, but she's not really part of the movie.
Well, to be fair, like Mrs. Voorhees doesn't really come in until the last 15 minutes of the movie
Well,
either.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess she may play a bigger role by that point, but
she's good in it. Like I said, like this, I've seen it, and she's not. She's good. She's Sigourney, but yeah, it's not. It's a really good movie, I think. But
It's a bit
underrated.
part though.
Yeah, yeah.
all right. We got number 7, Sylvia from Drag Me to Hell. I've never seen this Raimi movie.
It's got its points. I mean, I didn't hate it, but it wasn't something that I was like, oh boy, I can't wait to watch that again. I was like one and done. And again, she was in there so briefly. She's basically just a vehicle to start the story going, and she didn't really have as far as I recall, she didn't really have a recurring role in the thing. She's kind of a glorified cameo as a character.
Getting a from the chat. She doesn't deserve to be on the list. Okay, well, this is under. We'll have to see here. We got number 8, Samira from Underworld. I checked out after the first one, so I can't speak on this one.
Same here.
I've watched all of them, and
I have a box set.
Yeah, Culture. Would you say that she's underrated?
No, I think she's.
No.
It's like there's like 3 on here. Yeah, I think there's 3 on here so far that you would go underrated. Not pretty much.
Yeah, I mean Carrie. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I don't get that.
I don't get that, and I don't get this one either. This just seems like it's a list that they haven't watched.
Yeah.
All right. Bride of Chuck. Tiffany gets plenty of play. Tiffany's beloved as hell. I've seen little girls dressed as Tiffany.
Yeah.
I was at Monster Mania Con last month, and there were actually parents there with their daughter walking around as Tiffany.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I can see that. I've seen pictures of little cosplays and shit.
Yeah, but isn't she more than like sort of a subculture star rather than like a mainstream?
Well,
yeah.
I mean, compared to Chucky, though, I mean, she's pretty popular. I mean, Chucky is. I mean, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. As far as underrated, I don't know if I'd say she's underrated. She's definitely. I mean, she gets her.
I mean, you could say Jennifer Tilly is an underrated poker player.
That's true.
That's supposed to be true.
She is a very good.
She even made a joke about that on the last season of the Chucky show. That's the thing. She's benefited very much from this franchise. I mean, it's kind of keeping her career alive at this point. I mean, she's even said she always gets recognized mostly for this now, as opposed to her lesbian thing in
Bound. Oh, that would
Bound.
so
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see her in that old, very short-lived TV series on Fox, Key West? She played this hooker with Fisher Stevens and Brian Thompson. She was fabulous. She was so freaking hot in that. It was amazing.
Oh my God. You just gave me like such a flashback. I'm just thinking like Fox shows that never lived past thing. There's that, and there was like Open House. Like, oh my God, how am I remembering this stuff?
Yeah.
Defying Gravity. But I think she's betrayed by her voice.
No, but she's perfect for Tiffany, and that's the thing. I mean,
that's the thing. I don't think this is completely wrong.
Yeah, I don't know if about her being
100%
underappreciated, because she gets plenty of love.
And I think she gets plenty of love for this. Maybe underknown.
Maybe.
But
Then we got Rose and Get Out. This is an interesting one because I liked this movie up until the third act, and the third act becomes too much of an ask for me. Like it was okay up until then, but so I don't know. I mean,
wasn't this just
she
basically
really a horror character? I mean, it is a horror.
I mean, I don't
movie,
know if she would.
Is
she really the main? Like, I don't know if I consider her. She's more of a.
They wanted to
pawn.
classify this movie as a horror film so that they could have it chart in the horror films of all times.
She wasn't.
Well, they're basically saying that
nemesis,
she's the honeypot.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
But
all right, Mary Shaw from Dead Silence. I've never seen this one, so
never heard of that movie. I don't think.
Nope.
So yeah, underrated. I've never heard of it.
I guess so.
I guess so. Then yeah.
Oh, maybe Brian's seen it.
Good evening, everybody. Have I? I have not actually.
This is very
Dead
interesting.
Silence?
The ghost, the ventriloquist haunts a family for generations. So that in itself is scary.
Huh. Oh, is this that movie with the
Yes.
I've never seen it, but yeah,
That's the one.
puppet on the cover.
That one.
I'm like, oh, that looks like that Goosebumps puppet,
Oh, right.
and he's like hushing. Yeah, I think Shout Factory just re-released that. That's probably why this wound up on the list. Number 2, we got Asami Yamazaki from Audition. I've never seen Audition, but I've heard plenty about it.
Oh, you don't want to.
That's a good
underrated, no, but underappreciated.
Audition.
This movie will.
Jesus Christ.
Disturbing.
Bobby, I'm going to ask you who's seen it on. I've seen it. Who
I've
else?
seen it. It was not my choice, but I did see it.
Did this movie make your testicles go back up in your body?
Again, yes.
You were giving me the willies by showing me this picture. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, this
crap.
scared the. You want to talk
it's
about a
disturbing.
psychological thriller that will destroy you, especially if you're just a
Yes.
man who's.
Well, Yeah, I saw hard candy before I saw this, and I was like, okay, never mind hard candy.
I saw this about 20. I saw this about 20 years ago or more. Now it's I haven't even thought about it much since I've tried not to, and then when you popped it up there, I'm like, oh, good lord, it was I had it blocked out of my mind.
I have a question. I think you guys are onto something. Is it possible that this was sent out by Shout Factory because they are releasing all these films or something?
Potentially.
Yeah, guerrilla.
Well, yeah, you're not wrong, Culture. That's a good point because a lot of these are on Shout Factory, or Scream Factory. Yeah.
Well, that last one, the last one might be underrated because she's pretty scary. In fact,
Mrs. Voorhees gets a lot of love.
Yeah.
I don't know about underrated.
Yeah, the one before it would be number one.
Huh?
Yeah, the
one before
she shouldn't be on this list.
Terrifying.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tie this in more with like what's her face from Scream, Billy Loomis's mom, because that I can see because a lot of people probably don't get that connection, but that's the whole point. Like again, I'm not so sure that I would consider Betsy Palmer in the role of Mrs. Voorhees is underrated.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, she's very integral to the movies, even still, like even beyond Betsy Palmer. I mean,
again,
but if Scream hadn't asked the question about who was the actual villain in the first Friday the 13th, and everybody in the next generation had kind of learned about that, would most people know that she was the bad guy on Friday the 13th? How many?
That's a good point because we used to joke about that all the time.
Yeah, everybody thinks of Jason. They don't think of Mrs. Voorhees.
That used to be always one of those geek questions you'd always get somebody with,
which is why it got into Scream.
Yeah. But
so I can understand if that's what they're going off of, then I can understand them having her as underrated. I mean, but you have a lot of horror aficionados on this panel.
Yeah.
Right.
And me.
Between Culture and Tom and
me
alone. So.
Yeah, I don't know if I consider them under most of that list was so. Not the worst list we've done. Speaking of lists,
successfully scared me to death with the audition image. So
yeah, me too.
Let's scare you some more with some Batgirl images.
In
the tradition of Aquaman trailer or teaser for a teaser in 4 days, we're going to talk about every DC movie that was canceled or never made. Now, I know we have done at least 1 or 2 videos on Midnight's Edge about DC movies that never came to fruition. So a lot of those are probably going to be on this list.
Look at Odd Topic somehow.
Yeah, Tickle Trunk's right.
For underrated, I expected the movie to be popular, at least known. Do you think it can be underrated if you are in a movie nobody's seen? That's a good point, Mr. Tickle Trunk.
Yeah, good point.
That was now you made me say it, and I'm going to change my mind. That list sucked.
Well, I mean, like I say, if you are into horror, you knew almost all these people.
Kind of, yeah.
I mean, the audition alone.
I hadn't even seen Audition, but I'd heard of it. Yeah.
Don't do it to yourself.
Don't watch that film.
Yeah, don't.
All right. So let's start off here with 18 with Man of Steel 2. This is a longer list.
That's right.
You were gonna make friends.
Oh, yes. Zack Snyder Man of Steel was released in 2013 and was the film that launched the DCEU. It's never been officially called that, but we're going to call it that here because
Tom, you have a particular relationship with Zack Snyder fans, don't you?
Oh no,
no, I don't know. What about him? Development on Man of Steel 2 soon followed, but the sequel never happened because it became Batman v Superman. That's why.
Yep, they rushed into a Marvel situation.
Deadline reported in 2020 that a sequel was no longer in active development. Zack Snyder later revealed that there were discussion about a DC supervillain Brainiac making an appearance, as well as Kryptonians who were left in the Phantom Zone. A discussion is nothing solid. That means this was never going to be a fucking thing, kids.
So
I hate to break it to the Snyder bros, but yeah.
And it wasn't really Steelberg, Tom.
It was told so. Well, it didn't happen.
Movie was
the closest we got to a Man of Steel 2 was when Matt Reeves was in talk or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So would we say that movie was victim of a Snyder scission? Yeah, all right.
Yes, it was.
They can't all be winners. Just for the record, Brahma Bull came up with that. So if it falls flat, it's his fault.
Yeah, but the moment's past, talks.
Oh,
That's
I
true.
forgot about
My
this
delivery
one.
sucks.
Okay, so yes, here we go. The reason why the Eternals exists.
Ava DuVernay, right?
I make this joke once in a while when I say that that Disney
Well-
got Stop or My Mom Will Shooted by Warner Brothers, but then they got, and I love that you got that reference, but they got them back with Spider-Man No Way Home. Okay, so for those who don't know what happened, was back in, was it 2018? Yeah. Ava DuVernay was hired to make a New Gods movie. In response to that, Marvel quickly rushed into production The Eternals, which of course came out and bombed, and New Gods never came to be. But when there was talks of Michael Keaton coming back in The Flash, is when Spider-Man 3 changed from whatever the fuck they were going to do before into quickly becoming the Spider-Verse movie 2.0. And that was in response to Michael Keaton coming back. Well, they're gonna have Michael Keaton come back. Well, we're gonna have 2 different Spider-Men come back. That was their response, right? So yeah, so that's kind of how they. And for those who don't know the Stop or My Mom Will Shoot reference,
that's
if
a
you're
deep cut,
familiar
by the
with
way.
the
Good job.
film,
Good job.
Oh yeah.
Sylvester Stallone did that movie, and simply because he was tricked into doing it by Arnold Schwarzenegger. And you're like, how does that work? Well, basically, Schwarzenegger's like, I'm not gonna ever do this movie, but watch, I'll make Sly do this shit. Watch. So he put in a bid for like way too high, and Sly's like, well, I could beat that. I'll do it for like 12 million or whatever it was, and I don't remember, but at that time he was getting a pretty high price. And I'm sure Schwarzenegger said, I'll do it for 12.5 or whatever, something like that. I don't remember what they got paid.
Laugh all you want, but that movie bought Sly Stallone his house on Anini Beach.
But it damn near killed his career for a while.
It almost killed his career, but I mean, I've seen that house.
He was able to bounce
He's
back.
fine. Yeah.
No, and what's funny is the movie isn't as bad as history makes it out to be. That's the thing. It's actually kind of funny
It's
in some
okay.
ways, but yeah, it's not a great film by
I
any
enjoyed
stretch.
it at the time.
But anyway,
Well,
so yeah, New
At least
Gods.
it saved it. Look, thank God, the New Gods, High Father, whomever, that instead of one insult to Kirby, we didn't have 2 here, because that I'm not sure which would have been as horrific. But I could see it now. Like New Gods gets announced by DC, and then Kevin Feige face goes, "Hey, I've heard about that Jack Kirby guy. Do we got anything we could use over here at Marvel?" And he goes to the comic shop, because those guys don't know anything. And he says something else created by Jack Kirby, anything similar to those New Gods, of course, the Eternals, was something of his attempt later after he left DC to go back to Marvel in the mid-70s to do something that he could kind of make similar to his Fourth World Saga. Created Eternals, was one of his greater works in terms of writing and storyline, but some of his greatest art. And someone said, well, Eternals is kind of like that. I guess you see that over there, the quarter boxes, the dollar bins over there. Yeah. Oh, it's got Jack Kirby though, right? Yeah, sure. And it's just like it, right? Well, not just like it, but that's enough. Boom, we'll go. That's how Eternals got made.
I thought that movie was called Maternals.
Could be.
Then we got number 16, Batgirl. Nobody's heard of this one. Never heard of
It's
it.
the greatest movie never released.
Yeah, no shit, right? Like I think enough has been said about Batgirl that yeah.
She was like the female Flash in that running scene.
Mm.
The Batman, this would be, of course, Ben Affleck's Batman.
That's right.
And this is something I do actually feel bad about, because this sound and everything I've heard from even my sources has said that this script was supposedly fucking amazeballs. And what would you expect from Oscar-winning fucking filmmaker Ben Affleck? You can like him or hate him, but he knows how to make a fucking movie.
And he loves Batman.
And he loves Batman. Dude wishes he was Batman. Exactly. Like,
Probably would have been better than Battinson Sparkly Bat.
Oh yeah.
oh, no doubt. Dude. I mean, it could be literally Affleck farting in the bat suit for 2 hours and it'd be better than that, dude.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there going,
Well, there's something to be said for actors who really love that character. Like if they'd have let The Witcher just be The Witcher,
Yes.
it would have been a good film. Brian Austin Green was a huge Green Lantern fan, and just lobbied to be in that movie with Ryan Reynolds to be the lead instead of Ryan Reynolds. And I think it would have been a better movie because he would have forced them to be more true to the comic as opposed to what they did.
Brian, that's
They
a
made a Ryan
a
Reynolds
better one.
vehicle.
I only
That's
have
what-
one argument against Ben Affleck making this movie, and that's the movie Live by Night, which was Ben Affleck wrote, directed, produced, and it's terrible.
I've not seen that one
Is that
yet.
the one about him being a gun runner in Miami?
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah,
say.
it is.
But
it
he
is
was the bomb
so-
in Phantoms.
Phantoms. Oh man, Phantoms.
He had to go
I
for
still think
Kevin
his
Smith.
best performance was Daredevil, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Chasing Amy's the best.
It was
Chasing
Reindeer
Amy.
games. Reindeer games.
That was sucks.
Chasing Amy.
He was really good in The Accountant, where he played someone with
that's-
severe autism.
The Accountant was good.
Oh,
He was
In
incredible.
all seriousness, his best role will always be his best role, and that's Good Will Hunting. Come on.
Oh, I thought it was Jiggly. Wasn't he in Jiggly?
Yeah,
was in
Jiggly.
Jiggly.
Jiggly humping and jiggly. Okay.
Because Pearl Harbor sucks.
Come on, first of all, between the scene where he's telling his little brother, his real life little brother, that is, he's like, "You want this hamburger? I'm gonna put this hamburger up here. We're gonna put that shit on layaway, and you can come pay me 10 cents every week. And after you get your, then you can have your fucking hamburger." And then, of course, the other best scene is the scene where he tells, basically in so many words, Will, if you come back here in a year, I'm gonna beat your ass. Basically, like, do this, take this, chance, or if you're still a janitor in a year, I'll kick your ass, is what he says, or whatever.
Maybe they should do a Good Will Hunting 2, and he's like a crack addict on the streets of San Francisco.
Hunting season.
They did in one of the Jay and Silent Bob movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Hunting season.
How do you like them apples? Applesauce.
The sad thing about this Batman, though, not happening, is we were finally going to get like a mature Batman and not go back to an origin story and not reboot everything. We were going to get Batman in his prime, and we still haven't ever really gotten that. Not in a
and that's one of the reasons why I don't
Never
understand
will.
why people gave the Batman such a pass. It's like we're literally getting Batman Begins all over again, almost beat for beat in some spots, and most people didn't even notice. And I'm just like, how do you not notice it? Like,
there was an upgrade to the Batman armor because he was able to take like 69mm bullets to the body and of 1 foot 12 inches away, and he's fine. Andy would be able to bounce those bullets off his chest just with his pecs.
Only with
He
my
just
spinach.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, it is spinach. You drink that, eat that, bam, no problem.
yeah, that's why I just I don't hate.
I like the aesthetic of that film. Okay,
certain
I like
elements of it,
the
but yeah,
noir aesthetic of the film. I like the Batmobile in that film. Okay, I like that kind of, but I'm a noir type person. I like the spirit. Other people didn't like that film. I like Phantom. I like those kind of era stories. But
The Shadow, did you like The Shadow?
Shadow, I like the Shadow too.
He knows what lies in the hearts of men.
Yeah.
Deathstroke, speaking of, was also attached to a Deathstroke solo film, and Gareth Edwards was Evans supposed to direct.
Boy, wasn't he supposed to do a Star Wars movie at one point? Or no, he did Rogue One. Well, kind of, right? Or am I just misremembering who directed what here? Gareth Evans.
I don't remember.
I thought he was in line to do a.
You're
Star
thinking of
Wars
Gareth
movie.
Edwards too.
Oh, pardon me. That's
what I got messed up. That was my bad.
This is the Welsh guy, Gareth Evans.
Yeah, Manganiello, though, he's just one of those guys that never seemed to catch his break, and now he's getting a little too old to catch a break. But yeah,
What in the hell?
Nightwing. I guess this was announced
really?
back in 2017. I don't remember it being announced. Zack Snyder supposedly confirmed that Robin was dead, and who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
Is that another Snyder
movie?
decision there, Brahma?
Okay, now this is bullshit because this movie did happen. It was called the Harley Quinn crazy fucking title that nobody remembers.
Emancipation, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Birds of Prey. Yeah.
Right.
The
So-
fantabulous name changing after the film is released Harley Quinn film.
The DC vagina monologues.
There we go.
Andy, yes.
Oh, this.
And this actually, I think these two kind of got combined into basically
Birds of Prey.
Is my understanding.
No.
I didn't see anything in Birds of Prey like what we're staring at right now.
Yeah, no, because that would have been worth watching.
That would have been much better.
What are you saying no for, Culture? Did I miss something? Or just on this movie?
Yeah, I mean, this is Poison Ivy and Catwoman.
I know, but that doesn't mean that they didn't use the same concept and put it into Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
Actually, I think they made a animated series that came out this year that is basically based on this. Where
Yeah.
Poison Ivy and it's either Poison Ivy and Catwoman or Poison Ivy and Harley or lesbian.
It's Ivy and Harley or something like that.
But it was called Gotham City
Yeah.
Sirens, so Culture could be right. And this is one I believe Ayer was supposed to direct. Yeah.
Wait a second. I'm going to write that down. 1 hour, 20 minutes into the stream. Culture was
Shit.
right.
I don't know if he is for sure. I can't confirm that yet. The Joker. Well, we all know this turned into the regular Joker that we
It's
got.
an old list or something.
No, but I think they're trying to fill it out with filler.
Seeing Jared Leto in this, just to see him.
I don't remember
complete as
him.
Joker would have been
Yeah,
good.
he was like for a hot second. Well, that's true because he was bitching that they got the other Joker movie and he didn't get one. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't.
We just
I
need
guess.
to meme. If we meme hard enough, it might happen.
That's true.
Well,
Maybe he
he
can go
shouldn't
on
have been
Geeks and
sent-
Gamers and talk.
Cryborg, yes, Cryborg
Oh,
lost his
Lord.
own fucking movie.
Yay.
That doesn't look anything like Jean Claude Van Damme.
So if I bite the hand that feeds me, yeah, bite the hand that feeds me.
Has he had much work since then? Has he?
No,
done much
and not
movies?
outside of Snyder films, and he's got some movie coming out with like Morgan Freeman or something like that. But I don't even never heard of it.
Yeah, he didn't play the game very well.
Shawshank Redemption too.
The shankier, what?
Yeah, the shankening.
Did he get that from a shank crate?
Ooh, there we go. Lovely sharing. Shout out to her.
Ooh.
Yeah, that movie's not happening. I would
Nor
pay
should
money
it.
not to go see that film. You okay, Tom?
Yeah, I'm just doing some quick hair. Sorry.
Picking your nose? What?
I never understood why they didn't follow the Marvel model and didn't do the individual character movies first before doing the team up. It's such bass-ackwards way of doing it, and it was so obvious a thing not to do, but they just couldn't help themselves. It's just ridiculous.
Had to play
Well,
Impatience.
they were
Impatient.
so far behind. I think they felt like they had to press and do that. But here's the
Sure.
problem. Do you know who's following that stupid ass model now?
Marvel.
James Gunn.
Marvel. I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
no, Marvel's doing it to themselves right now. They're introducing characters in bullshit television series, that are team ups. They're
Desperation.
they're introducing characters in team up films now.
Yeah,
And
Thunderbolts
trying to
and
make-
the Marvels. Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Yeah.
Well, Warner Brothers has always been a feast or famine because their leadership just stinks. I mean, they had the original Batman films, made them a ton of money, and then they have a couple of flubs, and then they just panic, right? And they get the Harry Potter films. They have tons of money in those films, and I've argued for a couple of years they've left a lot of money on the table with the Harry Potter films. They should have filmed every single word in the books with those kids while they were there, and they'd still be minting money right now, releasing those films.
And that shows you how important Cryborg is. Nobody gives a fuck to even talk
Nobody
about the
gives a
movie.
shit. Keep going.
Zatanna.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
Zatanna. I do kind of remember this one half-ass.
I wouldn't have mind
better
seeing
off-
this one.
I just
remember-
hope if they do that Harry Potter thing, that they keep everything the way it was in the books and not let like
no.
Rowling's new and improved, like, let me make
Mhm.
Hermione black and let me do like all these other changes and stuff to it. If she just
Yeah.
keeps pure to her books, there's so much content that she could farm out of that, and they could make billions.
Yeah. Well, I think we're
I don't
proving
think
if
she
they
can
just
help
stop all
herself.
this woke crap, and whatever you define woke to be. If you just stop, I just got done watching Good Omens, the second season.
Mm.
The writing was phenomenal.
There's a second season. Oh, thanks
Yeah, there's
for-
a second
no,
season.
Glad you mentioned
Just
that.
came out.
Yeah, and the writing is great, but there's a couple of things that happen there. I'm like, okay, you can tell it's the BBC because they're like, okay, we have to have this, 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 right? And there's just some stuff you're like, no, you didn't need to do that. You didn't need to have that in there. It didn't need to be prominent. And there was a way that you could have written it that it could have been cool. And I think you're just seeing a lot of that. People are voting with their pocketbooks by not going to this stuff. And I just look. DC's in trouble. They're in trouble. And I don't think James Gunn's going to pull them out. But
Nope.
I think James Gunn's made it worse, and he hasn't.
there's
released
an argument to
anything.
be made for that. Yes.
Yeah.
He has made
Now,
it
he was,
worse.
he was also saddled with a whole bunch of dead weight to begin with, just coming in with all this other stuff that just didn't fit the vision, and obviously was all, appendixes to a dead franchise already. So I give him a little bit of credit for coming in to try to patch the holes on a sinking ship, but at the same time, he's not doing his own projects any favors the way that he's
Right.
been handling it.
But okay, So Scribe, if he didn't come out and say what he said about the Flash film, I mean, you can't come out and say this is one of the greatest films I've ever seen because people are going to see it and they're going to know you're lying.
Well, and that's where we did our video
Nobody
and saying that was the biggest fucking mistake is they should have just waited till after Aquaman had come out. They could have announced it that following fucking Monday if they wanted to. But I snooped around and asked again, and that's what they kept telling me was basically they wanted to just get the fucking Snyder fans off their damn back. It's like, well, so is that really worth sacrificing all these movies? Well, considering most of these were before Zaslav's time, I can see why he just don't give a fuck on that. But in that case, though, yeah, you're right. It's not helping James's image by he should have just kept his mouth shut after that, not said a fucking word about it.
Or said something else. Studio speak, we understand. Okay. But that's not what he did. And
it's true.
Yeah. So he just lost a lot of credibility, and it's going to be hard for him to bring that stuff back. Yeah. And then to get rid of the characters like he did, I just think it's been one mistake after another. I hope he hits a home run because we need to have some entertainment that's good. There's tons of characters in this universe that they could use and make good films about. But they're going to have to hire writers that know what they're doing and not a diversity hire. Yeah. They're going to have to do that.
I'm saying.
I think Klobby was going to say something about Zatanna.
I'm sorry, Klobby. I stepped all over.
No, not at all. Just that this was a bullet dodged right here because no way in this modern time, because this was relatively modern, that we'd have had a shot to have a good Zatanna film.
Yeah.
If they'd set her up in a Constantine movie, that would have worked. If she cameoed in a Constantine movie, and of course, I don't know if Constantine 2 is going to be on this list because I'm still waiting for the Keanu Reeves sequel or something. But
they wouldn't have
actually done a quality. If they actually done a quality sort of dark, R-rated occult Constantine movie and had Zatanna as a side character or a cameo and then spun her off, that might have been a better way to do it.
Yeah, all kinds of ways she could work, but no faith in anything. These people
exactly. That's what there are ways that we could sit here. Tom, we all know that Tom could write a better story than anyone in Hollywood about this right now, right? Off the top of his head. In fact, Culture could do that. Brian could do that. Andy could do that.
It's a shame that they
Rama and I maybe not, but
it's a shame they screwed up Matt Ryan as Constantine because he was great as a character.
So good.
Yeah, he is still good.
And Rachel Weisz, I thought in the first movie, I thought Rachel Weisz was good.
Oh, I love. Oh yeah,
she's a trooper. She's great. I mean, the first movie was really good, except for the fact it was Keanu Reeves.
All you have to do for Zatanna is say, if you're going to make it, whether it's a single film with her or the Justice League Dark, whatever, you got to get Paul Dini and put him in charge of it. Boom. Writes the character better than anyone.
So this is if they don't mention that the Gambit film got canceled, I'm gonna be mad. Because that thing was an on again, off again thing since like the 90s.
This is just DC. This is just DC, isn't it?
Yeah, this is DC only.
It's DC only? Okay, well then I'm clearly not paying attention.
Well, I mean, Channing Tatum's coming back in Deadpool 3, so don't worry, he's coming.
Really?
That's the rumor.
That's the rumor.
He's one of the cameos.
They're resurrecting all the undone movies with these other characters.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cool. Okay, well,
I will say in Deadpool 2 when the Invisible guy died and it was Brad Pitt. That was funny. That was a great insert.
That's the only good part in Deadpool 2. Justice
This is the Del Toro one, right?
Yeah,
I believe this is the Guillermo del Toro. This one kind of, I was hoping for, but
no dice. They did a animated film for the Justice League Dark, which was pretty good, actually, all things considered. But they put Batman in there.
They're all white people.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And Matt Ryan plays Constantine in that, so of course he's perfect.
Right.
Yeah. Damn shame. Del Toro's the kind of guy that could do it.
Yeah, but he always announces like 20 things and only gets to make one.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for his Lovecraft at the Mountains of Madness. I've been waiting for that for about 20 years.
Well,
the misspelling is so close to crap.
I think they fucked that up. Yeah, this is supposed to be the de facto sequel to Green Lantern.
They weren't a core; they were like a crop of Green Lantern.
Green Lantern crap. I thought it said
crap.
They grow them from from the ground.
I have to say, I did enjoy that film. So, sorry.
I didn't hate it as much as most other people.
Well, you should be sorry then.
This is one of those films that I can watch over and over again. And just Well,
that explains a
like
lot.
basketball and like Out Cold and some of these other movies. I can't tell you why, but
That's
there's just
okay.
something about this I thought was cool. And this is before I knew who Taika Waititi was.
Oh, was he annoying in that film? Ooh.
Yeah, I think this was my favorite character growing up, and I think it was just seeing it on screen. Right, it didn't matter what happened. It's kind of like, why is the first Star Trek film my favorite? Because I got to see the Enterprise in giant screen for the first time. Right, so I get to see this in 3D and a giant screen, and that suit goes on. I understand people don't like the suit, but to me, it just all the CGI and everything kind of came together, and the story was awful and secondary beyond this.
Yeah, I understand that for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. And we didn't get a crop.
Deserve a sequel.
We did not get our crop.
No, we did not get it. Got cropped. It did get cropped.
It got cropped.
Right on the floor. That didn't happen.
Croppola. What's next?
All right. Well, it was these crappy Justice League movie sequels. We were never gonna get any fucking. When they announced like 5 fucking Justice League movies, I called the biggest horse shit in my life when I heard that. I'm like, ha, bullshit.
PR wishful thinking.
Sorry, Snyder bots. Talk to Tom.
Thought they were Snyder hoes now.
Where's Guardians of the Galaxy 4?
That's Marvel.
Marvel.
Yeah, this is all DC.
All comics. They're all the same.
Yeah.
Yes. All the same.
Batman. Yeah.
I don't think we even need to get into what happened to those sequels.
The Trench.
What? Manta film?
I guess so. I kind of vaguely remember this was like it was a horror movie supposedly that James Wan I think was announced to be a part of, and then we found out later it was actually a Black Manta movie, and The Trench was just the working title for it, or the.
That is silly. That's very silly indeed.
That character didn't. I mean, I realized he was a villain in that movie. He didn't really stand out to me as someone that I would like. Oh yeah, I want to see a spinoff with that character.
Well, and he's back again for the next one.
I know that, but I mean, but his own deal. It seems a little.
No, yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. This one I remember.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I love
There's
this.
part of me that was like, damn, I wish we would have got this movie, but another part laughed about. Of course, we were never going to get a Wonder Twins movie. Are you fucking kidding me?
Why not?
If they met
That's just
Shazam,
KJ
that might have worked.
Apa, man. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it could have worked possibly with Shazam. You're not wrong, but it was one of those things that got axed by Zaslav pretty early on.
Oh boy,
probably a
And
good choice.
that was a good choice.
Wonder Woman 3.
Well, we all know why we're not getting that one, don't we?
Yeah.
He's too old.
But didn't Gal Gadot, didn't she put out like an Instagram a couple weeks ago saying she's all in for Wonder Woman 3 or something?
Well,
yeah,
it's set to go. It's going to be.
I was immediately refuted.
Yeah.
It was kindly brushed aside.
Yeah, there was a few people who had said to me that they feel like maybe she thought there was, but not likely because maybe something was lost in translation because I guess
she got a
English isn't the best, but yeah.
She got a text from James Gunn that said, well, it's not going to suck itself. And then she thought, okay, Wonder Woman 3.
Wonder Woman 3 will suck itself, though. That's the problem.
It will.
Yeah.
Oh, Crisis on
man.
Infinite Earths. Wasn't this supposed to be one of the Avenger movies anyway? So, like, does that count?
Did they already do that with the stupid CW network crap?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
They
so
did.
why a movie? That's a bolt.
And the amount you would have to build up to something like that, if you're even going to be even marginally true to the comics, you would have to have such a Marvel level foundation of individual character films and intercrossovers before you could even get to that to make sense.
But do you know that
Be a 20-hour film.
You know they've moved it, right? It's going to the animated. Their last animated
That's
movie
fine.
that they just did, they started the setup for it.
No, that's fine.
The latest one.
DC animation, I tell you what, out of everything else, DC animation is top of the pops, really. I mean, Marvel stuff is hit or miss, but almost to a one, every DC animated project has been really worthwhile.
Can I ask a question? Didn't we just see this on the Arrowverse garbage tasticness of Berlin?
It says on there that they did manage to do it on Arrowverse.
Yeah. And at least it had a foundation. At least they established a bunch of stuff to earn Christ, it wasn't very good, but I mean, at least they had enough material to make an attempt.
They had a lot of dumb crap from those who paid attention to it have said, but now they're doing it on the. I don't know. The animated films used to be good. They've gotten kind of really terrible for me, but that last one I saw, they set it up. So yeah, you'll never see any kind of live action movie like that. But
the best part of the CW one though was Kevin Conroy playing Bruce Wayne. That was, I mean, of everything else, just sentimentality speaking, just seeing him play the character was great.
But
yeah, of course it was evil, but it's fine. Yeah, that's fine. But just seeing him like in real life doing it was fine.
Well, I thought it was horrible what they did to him.
Oh, maybe they're going to do the J.J. Abrams thing, and they're going to do all these animated shows. And then you got to buy 4 different comics and a graphic novel to understand the 4.5-hour movie they're going to make.
We should all hope so.
So yeah, Culture just slipped out because he's got a show coming up here.
Yeah, I got to run as well, buddy. But I
I was
appreciate
gonna say, and we
that.
got a few other people who probably got to run here, like Klobby. So Klobby, let's start with you. What you got coming up?
Oh well, nothing much. Just tomorrow. I'm a couple of 2 shows tomorrow night. My Earth B Bob Haney show at 6 and at 9. Mark C Comics Talk. Then all the usual ones throughout the week. Just thanks for having me, buddy. I'll hang out.
Of course.
Next time with you. And great
We
to
always
see you
need
all,
your
buddy.
insight.
I don't have any. You can have mine. I don't need it. Good friends on the panel. Good friends in the chat. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and allowing me to hang out with you. And have a great week.
Well,
yeah. I forgot to say I will be on Marks later, but you know that.
Well, yeah, that's what you got to take off here for, right?
Yep. Sorry, dude.
All right. Well, take care of yourself. See you
Appreciate
later.
you, buzz.
Yep. And then Scribe, I think you have to get going soon too, don't you? Or are you good still?
Yep, because 4 a.m. comes quick for work, so I gotta get to the bed. As far as my little regular deal, Thursday nights on my channel, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, TED Excellence, where I take a look at off-brand TED Talks for entertainment and fun. I call it self-imposed torture. So it's
you should check them out, though. You're a lot of fun when you do that. And we didn't ever tell the audience what your female villain that was underrated on there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I had one. I guess maybe because of the list, my second one doesn't make any sense. But yeah, Christy Swanson playing the deadly friend in Deadly Friend. It was such a weird situation of you're basically reanimating your dead friend.
Yeah,
and then it's such a bizarre, like almost
it was
Lynchian
one of those movies.
concept.
Do you know the story behind the movie or not?
I think I did at one point, but I don't remember now.
Okay,
why.
basically the short version is it's like it was filmed as like a PG movie, and then the studio was
Right.
like, "Wait a minute, we want an R-rated movie," so he had to go back and reshoot a bunch of scenes that had a
Oh,
bunch
that's
of
right. Add blood and stuff. Yeah.
yeah. So that's why the movie's so off tone.
Yes.
Because it wasn't meant to be a horror movie initially, and that's where like, well, we hired Wes Craven to make a fucking horror movie.
That's right.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting one to have a conversation about someday. But anyway, Scribelight, it's always fun to have you here, and we appreciate you.
Well, thanks so much for the invite. You guys have a good rest of your evening, and everybody else have a good week ahead of you. Take care.
All right, we'll see
Have
you
a good
later.
one.
We got a couple of super chats here before we head out officially. We got Mr. TT who says, for underrated, I expected the movies to be popular. Oh, we got this one already. And then he sent in another one, though, who says, I'm with Tom 101%. Snyder is the reason Henry Cavill was wasted and was never allowed to actually play Superman. F the haters, they're all wrong. I know. They can sit there and try to twist things around all day long, but the problem is you can't build shit on a shitty foundation. It has been 10 fucking years. The time to try to establish shit is gone. They're not wrong about that, but guess what? Snyder wasn't going to fix it. There was a reason he was getting booted to begin with. They just don't want to admit that. Now, did they go the right direction when they tried to correct course? Fuck no. We all know that. Will James Gunn take it in the right direction? I don't know. It's on him. I don't really like the sound of a lot of what he's got going on, and I don't agree with how they handled this whole thing, but I'm willing to give Superman Legacy a chance because I've liked every single one of his movies I have seen. So, and I've seen more than just the Guardians films. I've actually seen one of his movies that, believe it or not, in a weird way, that Robert Meyer Burnett ended up being a producer on, called The Specials, that James is in, was one of the writers on. So anyway, yeah, thank you, Mr. Tickle Trunk, for the support, and I can echo the feeling. But with that, Andy, what you got coming up?
Oh, let's see. We've got Doomcock show coming up on Wednesday. Oh, we got Rancor Steve's Manorama. We're going to be talking about Pew Pews. And Wednesday night, we're going to be going over on Doomcock's show. I'm sure we'll be talking about Soka. And then we're going to be reviewing Dirty Harry. The original Dirty Harry.
Excellent. I hope I can make that, but I don't know if I'll be able to be there long enough for that. So we'll have to see. But oh yeah, that was a fun discussion last week. Looking forward to that then. And Brian, what you got going on?
Well, I'm actually taking tomorrow off, not doing my own show tomorrow. I mean, somebody else might be doing my own show. I don't know, but I'm
How
not doing
dare
it.
you?
You know, I've done a lot of stuff recently and put a lot of videos up, and had 2 full live streams last week. So I'm taking a wee break, but planning the next series of shows. Next one will be the following Monday. Be a cult comedy crew, and we're going to do talk about Kentucky Fried Movie and Zucker Abrams Zucker in their early days. So, but between now and then, Midnight Sage After Dark and Toxic Tuesday over on Nick's channel on Tuesday night, and we're doing a police story, Jackie Chan, so that should be fun. But thank you again, Tom, for having me.
Excellent. All right. Well, thanks for being here. And Brahma, what you got going on?
Well, I'll be popping from here straight over to Culture Stream. Tomorrow night on Comics Division channel, we got Monday Night Meltdown. Wednesday night, Yelling at Parked Cars on his Rumble. And then Thursday Night Throwdown, also on Comics Division channel. I've been doing a little bit of Armored Core 6 playthrough, so you might be able to catch me on my channel doing that. But yeah, it was a fun night. Good discussion. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you. And Tox, what you got coming up? I know you're going to be heading over
basically,
to
what
comics,
Brahma
aren't you?
said, and same things there. So Culture's got his stream after this, so go over there and check out Culture After Dark. I really like the set of streams we have going on here with Valiant running into this stream and into Culture. Again, Tom, thank you for doing some stuff together where we're trying to be more positive and just, well, you know what? It's not being positive. It's taking all that
Having fun,
drama
yeah.
and getting rid of it. We're having fun talking about some of these films and stuff that's on there. So thanks for coming up with the concept and doing that. And we'll get together and we've got to do our own lists on a few of these things. I'll find some stuff. I got a list of things I need to do for the show, and that's one of how we get together and do our own lists and get some people on and vote to have our own. So, but thank you, Tom, very much.
Some of the credits got to go to you and Six too for being part of the inspiration. But yeah, no, it's I like the concept we got going on here, and we get pretty good crowds. So yeah, so you guys head on over to Cultures. I'll probably hop in there after I let Sadie out and stuff. So take care of yourselves, and we'll see you on the morning show. If not, take care of yourselves, guys.
Bye-bye.
Fuck.